Hey guys, what's up? It's Luke. I'm Lukewarm Reviews, and I am here with my favorite performances of 2017. This is going to be the first of three 2017 year in review videos about the movies that I've seen. I wanted to do this one first. It's going to be a little longer. I got a lot of actors I want to talk about, and I'm doing this kind of in the way that most award shows and stuff separate them into supporting actor, actress, and then lead actor, actress. I'm going to try something kind of new here where I'm going to put up the pictures of the people I'm talking about next to my head in case you were wondering what this big empty space is for. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like the editing and stuff like that, or do you like it more bare bones? Tell me what you think. So without further ado, I'm going to start with my favorite performances by supporting actors in 2017. Every category I'm going to have some honorable mentions, and then I'm going to have my top 5 in order. So, some honorable mentions I just wanted to say real quick. Charlton Copley in Free Fire. I wasn't nuts about this movie, but he is absolutely hilarious. This was one I saw a little while ago, but he's really, really funny in it. Kenneth Branagh in Dunkirk, and also Mark Rylance in Dunkirk. I know Kenneth Branagh is only in it for like 10 or 15 minutes. He doesn't do that much, but he's just amazing in everything he does. And Mark Rylance as well. He has that kind of stoicism to him that is, you know, really refined and really, really nice. Lil Rel Howery in Get Out. He's super funny. Had to mention him. He's not in it much as well, but everything he does is hilarious. And then Ray Romano in The Big Sick. He has one of my favorite scenes in the film where he's sleeping on Kumail's floor and they have this really awkward conversation together. Really, really excellent performances. So my top 5 in order. We'll start with number 5, Richard Jenkins in The Shape of Water. I love Richard Jenkins in pretty much everything. He's so much fun to watch always, and in this film you can really tell that he had fun with the character and he made it his, and it's very whimsical and fascinating, and I loved it. Number 4 is going to be Barry Keoghan from The Killing of a Sacred Deer. I really loved the way that this kid was able to manipulate his speech and thought patterns to fit the psychosis of the character. It made for a really, really unsettling performance, and in my opinion, one of the biggest contributing factors to the creepiness of the entire film. Number 3, I have Sam Rockwell with 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Sam Rockwell is one of my absolute favorites, and I love him in this film. The complete 360-degree shift that his character has is really awesome, and it's in part due to McDonagh's writing, but Rockwell just pulls it off really, really well. He's also really funny. It just absolutely loved it. Number 2 is going to be Michael Stuhlbarg for Call Me By Your Name. I think this is a really underrated performance. He brought tears to my eyes in his final scene between him and Elio. I mean, I have a video about this. You can go watch it to see how I feel about the film as a whole, but his performance absolutely blew my mind. He's incredible. And my number 1, my favorite performance by a supporting actor in 2017 is going to be Gil Birmingham in Wind River. I didn't make a video about this one because I saw it before I started my YouTube channel, but I loved this movie. And Gil Birmingham is kind of unbelievable in it. He's got such a stoicism to him, and yet everything is communicated through this guy's face. It's unbelievable. And it's, again, this is another performance where he's not in a whole lot of the film, but every single scene that he's in, he's able to communicate so much without having to resort to kind of like gimmicks and really dramatic stuff. He's just so expressive and honest and open just through his face. It's unbelievable. So that is it for my supporting actors. Gonna move on. Best performances by a supporting actress for 2017. Some honorable mentions. Real quick, this is a funny one. Christine Woods for the Netflix film I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. This was a movie I wasn't nuts about. And again, Christine Woods is only in like one scene, but it is the hardest I laughed at any film all year. Was at Christine Woods' little bizarre performance as the mother of a criminal in I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. She's amazing. Go check that film out. Riley Keough, I think that's how you pronounce it, in Logan Lucky. This is another one, not nuts about the movie, but I have a total crush on Riley Keough. She's amazing in everything she does, the way that she just understands how to be a person in front of a camera. She's not gimmicky, she's supernatural. I absolutely love her. Lily Taylor in To the Bone. I'll be speaking a lot about this in the upcoming videos. I loved this movie, and I know a lot of people did not. But the performances were probably my favorite part about it. Lily Taylor as the mother of the protagonist is fantastic. They have one scene in particular, which you'll hear more about later in one of my other videos. Allison Janney and I, Tonya. I wasn't as nuts about this performance as everybody else seems to be. I do think she's going to win the Oscar, but I wasn't crazy about it. It was great. That's why it's on my list, but it is just an honorable mention. It was a tiny bit one note for me. But Allison Janney, great, and I, Tonya. And last honorable mention, Diamond Bu Abode, I hope that's correct, for The Insult. She's super kind of refined and really powerful. Absolutely loved her performance. So my top 5, here we go in order. Number 5 is Octavia Spencer for The Shape of Water. I just love her in everything. She's so funny and so natural, and her character in this film has an unexpected and really amazing plot arc. Just loved her a lot. Number 4 is going to be Mary J. Blige in Mudbound. Her performance, once again, in this film, very understated, very powerful. She really has her feet planted, it feels like, for the entire movie. And she's one of the most powerful forces and performances in what is a very powerful film. Number 3 is going to be Elizabeth Marvel for the Meyerowitz Stories, New and Selected. Her character, Jean, is one of my favorite characters of the year. She's so quirky and so interesting and so deeply sympathetic. Her character was absolutely my favorite part of the Meyerowitz Stories, which is a pretty good movie, but her character was the best thing about it. Number 2 is going to be Leslie Manville for Phantom Thread. Dude, she's so badass in this movie. I don't think she's going to win the Oscar. I really want her to, though. She is absolutely phenomenal. She goes toe-to-toe with Daniel Day-Lewis in every scene, and 90% of the time comes out on top, and it's awesome. And my number 1 favorite performance by a supporting actress for 2017 is going to be Elizabeth Moss in The Square. She's so good in this. Elizabeth Moss is probably my favorite actress. I love her in everything I've ever seen. She's the best part of Mad Men. She's the best part of most things that she's in. And in The Square, she gets to just kick the shit out of this pretentious guy. In one scene in particular, after they sleep together, that comes to mind. She's just so badass and so funny, and her performance is so straightforward and honest. Absolutely loved it. Can't get enough. So number 1 is Elizabeth Moss. Elizabeth Moss. That's it. Moving on. These are the best performances by a lead actor of 2017. I have a lot of these, so I'll go a little quick through the honorable mentions. I just want to say Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour. Check out my video if you want to hear more about him. He is good. Robert Pattinson in Good Time. I'm so happy that Twilight's over so that Pattinson and Stewart can finally start doing cool indie shit and showing us how really talented they are. He's great in that. James Franco for The Disaster Artist. I have a video about this one as well. Go check it out. His performance is super good. Kumail Nanjiani in The Big Sick. This is one I was thrilled about because I love him as a comedian. But in this film, he really, really goes all out, and he's fucking great. He's a great actor. Mark Duplass in Creep 2. I love the Creep movies. I love Mark Duplass. His character is so bizarre and so unpredictable, but at the same time, Duplass's performance is so honest that I buy every second of it. Tom Hanks in The Post. Enough said. Tom Hanks is amazing in everything. Jason Mitchell in Mudbound. The acting was my favorite part of this movie. Jason Mitchell was my favorite performance in this movie. So he's absolutely fantastic. Algie Smith for Detroit. I was not nuts about Detroit, but I was nuts about Algie Smith's performance. It's so vulnerable and emotional, and I loved it. And Kamal El-Basha for The Insult. I talk about him in my video for The Insult as well. His character arc is incredible. He goes through so much, and it's fantastic. So my top 5 now. best performances by a lead actor, 2017. Number 5 is going to be Jeremy Renner in Wind River. Again, I absolutely love this movie. Jeremy Renner has a couple of monologues that are really, really fantastic. One of my favorite things about this movie was that it's a little bit slow, but I sort of love that about it because it's clear that the director gave the actors a lot of room to breathe and room to play within the monologues that they had. And Jeremy Renner takes those moments, and he has his beats, and they're incredible and emotional. Really, really good performance. Number 4 is going to be Claes Bang for The Square. I have a video about this one as well. His performance is perfectly pretentious and obnoxious, and at the same time just like identifiable. Like, he's a total wiener, but you're like, I want you to be good. I want you to be a good guy. And so he brought that character to life in a really, really unique way. Number 3, Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out. One of my favorite movies of the year. One of my favorite performances of the year. So simple, so honest. This guy is going to be an absolute star. He already kind of is, but he's going really, really big places. Number 2, Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread. I mean, he's Daniel Day-Lewis. This performance in particular is a little bit different for me, a little bit new. I love the way that he's able to bring this finicky, kind of hard to pin down character to life. And number 1, my favorite performance by a lead actor of 2017, this should be a surprise to no one, Timothée Chalamet for Call Me By Your Name. This is one of my favorite performances I've seen in a very long time. He's crazy. I'm mad about how talented he is. The last shot of this movie absolutely destroyed me. Timothée Chalamet is going to be a star. I hope he wins the Oscar. I don't think he will, but absolutely unbelievable. Timothée Chalamet. Last one. I saved this one for last because when I think about 2017, I think about amazing music and amazing performances by lead actresses. So this was the most difficult one for me to choose between. So many of the women on this list gave incredible performances, but this is what I narrowed it down to. My honorable mentions, I have a lot of these once again. I just wanted to do a quick shout out to Louise Heyer from this weird little German movie I saw called Pretty Far From Okay. I watched this on a plane because sometimes when you're on planes and they have like movies, I just go to the foreign ones and just look for something that looks cool because I know I'll probably never get a chance to see it again. And I watched this movie and I loved it. It's like the German Frances Ha, and Louise Heyer is the lead and she's fantastic. Anne Hathaway for Colossal. This movie is super unique, super weird, and Hathaway's great in it. Kristen Stewart for Personal Shopper. Like I said earlier, thank God Twilight is over because Kristen Stewart is incredible. Meryl Streep for The Post. Once again, enough said. But, you know, I really do feel like Meryl Streep's character in this has a really, really fantastic arc. She does super well. She deserves her nomination. Charlize Theron for Atomic Blonde. This movie is so hardcore. She is so hardcore. She's badass. And Vicky Krieps for Phantom Thread. Obviously, she was so close to making the list, but she's incredible. I love her so much, and she is going to go places as well. Thrilled to see her in Phantom Thread. So my top 5 now. These are the heavy hitters. Number 5, Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Man, she crafted such a specific character. She goes through so much in this. It's so unapologetic. I loved everything about it. The way that she plays with the text and plays with the other actors is fantastic. Number 4, Lily Collins in To the Bone. Once again, like I said earlier, I loved this movie. Most people didn't. But Lily Collins' performance had me on my ass. She is so brutally honest, and the places that she is willing to go for this film were really kind of staggering. Number 3, Sally Hawkins in The Shape of Water. I have a video about this one. Go check that one out as well for a little more detail about this. But Sally Hawkins has such a quiet kind of power in this film. And it's amazing to watch the way that she works with the other performers, particularly against Michael Shannon, because she is so strong and he is so kind of like frantic that she just conquers the entire film for me. She's amazing. Number 2 is Saoirse Ronan in Lady Bird. this one again speaks for itself. This movie was super popular, and Saoirse is so unapologetic. She just absolutely goes there, and I feel like you could tell how well her and Greta Gerwig worked together and how well she identified with the script. She really made it hers, and I felt like it was super honest. And the last one, guys, my number one, this was the hardest choice. All of these top 5 were absolutely incredible. But the number one, my favorite performance by an actress in 2017 was Margot Robbie in I, Tonya. I thought about this for a really, really long time, and what it came down to was Margot Robbie showed me the most variety within one honest character. The places that she goes, there's so many different things we get to see from her, but it all makes sense because the character she's crafted is so exhaustive and so fully realized. It's fantastic. And the scene of her looking in the mirror is one of the moments on film of this year that I cannot get out of my head. She is a revelation in I, Tonya. Absolutely brilliant. So that's it. I went through those really quick. I hope I gave everyone their due. Let me know what you guys think. Tell me about your lists. What were your favorite performances? Are there any of these on my list that surprise you? Are there any that I left out? What do you guys think? What did you think about the performances of 2017? I'm going to be back with my next video. It's just going to be my top 20. It's going to be the top 20 movies that I saw in 2017. So make sure you subscribe, tell your friends, give me a like, give me a comment, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, as always.